You're listening to the New York Sports Show, the #1 all New York sports podcast. Hosted by Dominic Konareski.
Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show. I'm Dominic Konareski. Join here with me is Dave Riccio. Dave, we're going to talk some Yankee baseball. Happy to have you back on the podcast.
Dominic, it's an honor to be back with you and your tremendous fans that listen to your podcast and talking baseball.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to have you back on. The Yankees and Baltimore Orioles, it's been an absolute dogfight this season. Yankees currently hold a one-game lead. Pretty nasty series, though, against the Washington Nationals, though, if you would ask me. This has been a true up-and-down season for the Yankees. It's been highlighted by Aaron Judge, who's at the making of this video on pace to break his own record, he said, in 2022, on pace to hit about 65 home runs. But it's also a season where you got to make the most out of it. You may not even have Juan Soto for 2025. What's your general thoughts so far on the season?
General thoughts on the Yankees season is that what you're seeing is a once-in-a-lifetime season from a young hitter that could break the all-time seasonal home run record. And what you're also seeing is from Juan Soto is probably one of his finest seasons that he had at the plate. Now, to get to the playoffs, you have to be consistent to the end, and you have to dodge one of the most important things is injuries, which is what the Baltimore Orioles are happen to be running into, and is their problem right now is that they're not dodging the injury bug. So I think it's going to be quite interesting going down to the finish.
And also when it comes to very young phenom, Jason Dominguez, what the Yankees are doing with Dominguez is absolutely brilliant, especially if you lose out on the Soto sweepstakes over the offseason and he ends up hitting free agency and goes elsewhere. The Yankees have not had Jason Dominguez play any Major League Baseball really this season. He got caught up for, a week? And that's about it. Now, when he was on the injured list, when he got Tommy John, he was on the Major League IL. But if the Yankees call him up very late in the September call-ups, then that prevents Jason Dominguez of getting a full year of Major League playing time, which offsets his free agency hit back 1 year, which is huge, especially if the Yankees lose out on Juan Soto. So many people are talking about why the Yankees aren't bringing up Jason Dominguez, especially when Alex Verdugo has been struggling heavily, and that's why. And at the end of the day, I look at it this way. If the Yankees retain Juan Soto, then you're paying big money for both Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. You won't be able to pay Jason Dominguez when he hits free agency. And that's the sad truth. There just wouldn't be enough money to have three big stars on the team like that. And then you have the New York Mets who could swoop in and get Juan Soto. That would be a massive loss if a crosstown wide was able to pick up Soto. How big of a season do you think the Soto and Judge duo has really put in this baseball void?
Think about, not only has Soto and Dominguez been the cogs in the wheel of success for the Yankees, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is the lack of consistency from LeMahieu and Stanton. I think Stanton has seen more time on the bench and since he's been here than he's been on the field. And has he performed to the expectancy of what the Giancarlo Stanton that fans and the team thought they were going to get? So they have really. So Dominguez and Judge have really and Soto have really picked up where in the positions where the Yankees really needed to be filled because of the lack of consistency from other players. And you're going to need them to pick it up a bit if the Yankees want to get over the finish line. Keep in mind, any successful team that wins pennants, you see they usually don't tail off at the end, but they usually pick up and they finish strong. So this is going to be an interesting playoff season for the entire Major League Baseball. And I'm hoping for either the Mets, which is my team, or the really Yankees, because they're another local team to bring home the pennant.
It's really going to be interesting. I think the biggest thing with the Yankees when it comes to consistency, or at least lack of, is their bullpen. We see the Yankees go out and sign bullpen pieces who have been either in the minors, who have been DFA'd and waived several times, and they either make them a star for a year or two, or they just fade off. We saw that most recently with Michael Tonkin, who is now back on the Twins.
Mm-hmm.
He spent some time with the Mets as well. It's very interesting the way that the Yankees have handled their bullpen arms. I mean, looking for a recent example, I can't help but, call out Lucas Lipke, who is an absolutely nobody bullpen arm, and then he ends up being signed by the Yankees. The Yankees make him a massive bullpen asset, and now I don't even think he's in the majors anymore because he had such a downfall after he left the Yankees. And that really says something about Brian Cashman because he goes out to get all these bullpen arms, and it's really hit or miss, but the hits that we've had on them were absolutely incredible. Whether they fade out when they leave or not, it's just been incredible. Going on to Aaron Judge. Now, I saw Stephen A. Smith on ESPN earlier. He said Aaron Judge is having the kind of historic season, putting up these big numbers like he is because Juan Soto is batting behind him. And I think a part of that is true because you got to pitch to either Judge or Soto. Both of them are very big power hitters, but nevertheless, I don't think we're going to see any player now or even 20, 25 years from now put up the numbers that Aaron Judge is putting up right now. I think we're living in a historic time in the baseball world. Your thoughts?
I agree. What Smith said is partially true because you have a one of the most feared batters batting behind Aaron Judge right now, but you still got to put the bat on the ball. So no matter who's batting behind you, I could have Babe Ruth batting behind, but if I'm swinging and missing the ball by a large amount, I'm still not. It's the individual's talents and the individual's success that he has that make him have the season that he has. It's not. It's partially because you have a good people have to pitch to you, but you still have to do the job. And Aaron Judge is doing the job.
He's done a hell of a job, and rightfully so that he got named the Yankees captain and that he's on such a big contract because the way that he's producing has been absolutely phenomenal. He's basically guaranteed a spot in the Hall of Fame once he retires, and I'm excited because he's still considered in his prime. We have a few more years. I would say maybe 4, possibly 5 more years of where Aaron Judge could absolutely dominate the game. And I can't wait to see what he ends up ending his career with stat-wise.